Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. Now, as I've been saying on this channel for a while now, there is an anti-Christian agenda that is being played out in the media. And yesterday we saw another instance of this with numerous mainstream fake stream media platforms running this story of a poll. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't personally trust polls or surveys, especially when I don't think anyone really was interested in the first place. And then secondly, when the results are then syndicated across numerous mainstream media outlets. Here we see the BBC. Less than half of England and Wales population Christian, Census 2021 shows. Here's another. England and Wales now minority Christian countries, Census reveals. Here we see Sky News. Census 2021 data shows number of Christians in England and Wales falls below half for first time. It says here the Archbishop of York says the figures reflect that people don't automatically identify as Christian, while secular groups say it proves we are no longer a Christian country. Here's another one from iNews in which they show what the propaganda is really about. Christianity in the UK is in decline, but its influence is not, and that's a real problem. Yeah, the influence of Christians is a real problem, it states. So as with most propaganda pieces, a lot of what they state doesn't make much sense. This is somewhat what they call dog whistling, in that they use language that appears normal to the majority but communicates specific things to intended audiences. Dog whistling. They are generally used to convey messages on issues likely to provoke controversy without attracting negative attention. It says in one of these articles that Christianity is now the minority religion. Well, not by the figures they're giving. I mean, if we're to believe them, they state that Christianity is the most widely practiced religion in the UK at 46.2% of the population. Islam was second at 6.5% and 37.2% stated they had no religion. Okay, so a lot of these reports are disingenuous in the way they are stating things. Now, like I said, I don't believe polls and surveys anyway, really, generally, but I mean, it would be of no surprise if Christianity had dropped. I mean, it's no surprise when you look at the people who are the figureheads of the organised religions, like the Pope and the Archbishop of Canterbury. These are as dodgy as they come and are at one with the system. They're no different to any WEF puppet or UN puppet. Now, this is being trumpeted all over the media, this story, because it serves their anti-Christian agenda. Why is there an anti-Christian agenda, you may ask? Because these organisations, these governments, the establishment, they want to change. They want to reset the system. They want a one world government. They want a one world religion. They want a one world currency. And to bring in those changes which are going to benefit the establishment and enslave people to the system, to bring that system in, there has to be a massive change. And the blueprint, the foundation of Western society, the legal structure, the moral and ethical constitution is formed from Christianity. The Ten Commandments are fundamental to the Western legal tradition. Now, whether you're a believer, an atheist, whatever you are, that is the way it is. And if you want to completely reset Western society, then you have to remove the predominant religion. Now, we've talked about communism and how much of what is happening today, all of the restrictions, all of the attacks on free speech, the so-called Great Reset, all of that sounds a lot like communism on a worldwide scale. And Christianity and communism don't mix. As it says here, every communist regime has sought to purge the faith of its people. Communism is based on a materialistic and humanistic view of life. Communism exploits the philosophy that the end justifies the means. Lying, violence, murder and torture are considered to be justifiable means to achieve the end goal. As Lenin once said, was once quoted as saying, we must be ready to employ trickery, deceit, law-breaking, withholding and concealing truth. With communism, man is made for the state and not the state for man. Man has no inalienable rights. His only rights are derived from and conferred by the state. Doesn't that sound a lot like where we are heading? Restricted are man's liberties of press and assembly, his freedom to vote and his freedom to listen and to read. Art, religion, education, music and science come under the stranglehold of government control. All of this is the complete opposite to Christianity, which underpins the moral, ethical and legal structure of the society that we have all been living and are used to in all of our lives. Okay, so in a number of these articles you will see this quote, and this tells you what this is all about. It says here, the chief executive of Humanists UK, Andrew Copson, said one of the most striking things about these census results is how at odds the population is from the state itself. He then says, no state in Europe has such a religious setup as we do in terms of law and public policy, while at the same time having such a non-religious population. And the same rhetoric is used in this article here. As I mentioned earlier, Christianity in the UK is in decline, but its influence is not, and that's a real problem. And both of these are stating how Christianity is entangled in the legal framework of the UK and in public policy. And their argument is how this should now be removed, how all forms of Christianity should not have any relevance in public policy or law. And all of this is due to this supposed poll that Christianity is, as they put it, the minority religion when it actually is the majority religion. It's all about taking out the foundations so they can build their new world order, communist setup, their one world government, change the legal and public policy framework, probably bring in some alternative one world religion which is going to be linked to the CC33. And this is not just the UK, this I believe is happening everywhere. So again, another anti-Christian agenda article. Now, of course, as I said earlier, you can be an atheist, an agnostic, a Christian, whatever. But whatever you are, there is no escaping the fact that Western values rooted in Christian tradition, such as doing no harm, equality, concern for the poor, thou shalt not kill, marriage, family, all meaning human beings having rights that must be respected by everybody. That is the foundation they want to eradicate and diminish and then replace, so they can bring in all of these new dehumanizing changes. Here's a quote for you. Sometimes people throw away something good for something better, only to find out later that good was actually good enough and better never came close. Let us know what you think in the comments. And I'll leave you with this, Proverbs 2:20-22. That thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. As always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to the website hugotalks.com if you want to get notifications of all video uploads, and I'll see you later.